Hey, this is Ryan. It's October 22nd, 2016. You can check us out at clovisstar.com. You can also check us out at clovistribe.com. And if you want to donate, you can go to patreon.com/clovistribe. We welcome your comments. You can leave them on our website at opinions.cloviссtar.com. Today, I realize that every election season, I reduce the excess Facebook crowd that I have accumulated somehow. About 2 years ago, I had about 2,000 Facebook friends. Today, I have about 750. I recently removed 150 of them. And then after all this stuff came out from Wikilieaks, I've been arguing with some of these people that I used to do activism with, people that I've actually met in person even, and I've lost a few of them because we disagree. It's so funny how they can go after Trump and they can just really criticize Trump for being racist, and they can be so, dead set against any racism and anybody that supports racism. And then all this stuff from Hillary Clinton comes out and it reveals how racist she is. And they're like, oh, well, you're taking that wrong. Oh, that's out of context, whatever. And they won't go after that because it's Hillary Clinton and because, they think that she supports a progressive liberal agenda and she's in favor of all the free handouts and all that. What's funny is that the liberals, especially the Democratic Party, are probably the most historically racist political group in all of history. I mean, the Democrats founded the KKK in the 1860s. The Democrats fought against the civil rights movement, fought against the women vote, women's suffrage. All of that is, in the history of the Democratic Party. But progressive liberals, especially people like Hillary Clinton, are closet racist. And I've noticed this even in my own family. I have somebody in my family who's in one of these oppressed groups, and, politically oppressed and socially oppressed groups and blah, blah, blah. All of my life, I've known her to be very racist. And then when her and I have a disagreement, especially about gay marriage, this is a big thing, she goes off on how racist I am. Oh, blah, blah, blah. What about 25 years ago when you lived with these people and they were racist and blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, well, gosh, a week ago you told me you don't like Mexicans. Well, that's different. No, it's not. It's really actually the same. And it's same with Hillary Clinton. They do this gaslighting thing where they, accuse their opponents of things that they're guilty of themselves. And they make a bigger deal out of their opponents and make it, sound like their opponents are guilty of these things. When in actuality, like in Hillary Clinton's case, she calls Donald Trump racist and sexist and stuff all the time. And then when it comes down to it, it's Hillary that is blatantly racist. And these WikiLeaks emails that I'm going to post on the screen here are a sure sign of that. And I just wanted to, show the hypocrisy here, especially with these liberals. It is disgusting. And the hypocrisy, I mean, if they would just own it, if they would just be like, okay, yeah, this is what I believe. But no, it's like what Hillary Clinton said. She has a public persona and a private persona. In private, she's a different way. In campaign mode, she's a different way than in private. And she admits to it on the debate stage. I mean, I'll play that video for you right now. It's crazy.
This next question comes from the public through the Bipartisan Open Debate Coalition's online forum, where Americans submitted questions that generated millions of votes. This question involves WikiLeaks' release of purported excerpts of Secretary Clinton's paid speeches, which she has refused to release, and one line in particular in which you, Secretary Clinton, purportedly say you need both a public and private position on certain issues. So, two from Virginia asks, is it okay for politicians to be two-faced? Is it acceptable for a politician to have a private stance on issues?
Right now, it's crazy how blatant they are and how nobody calls them on it, especially like the media. I mean, the media will go after Trump, and and I'm not a big Trump fan either, but they'll go after Trump like he's a stink on shit, and they're the flies coming in for the feast. And when it comes to Hillary Clinton, the same things that they accuse Trump of, and she is blatantly guilty of, not only in her own words and TV interviews, but also in these WikiLeaks emails, and they ignore it. Nothing. All this, accusation of racist and racism, is just a way to distract. And it's exactly what Hillary Clinton is doing to Donald Trump, where Hillary Clinton is the true racist, Donald Trump is very blatant about his beliefs about the, immigration policies and the border and things like that. But when it comes down to the hatred for other races, Hillary Clinton is blatantly guilty. And, now it's coming out. Thank God to WikiLeaks. Another thing I find hypocritical and what I find disgusting is that the progressive people that I have on my Facebook were, absolutely in favor and supportive of WikiLeaks when they were going after Republican candidates and when they were going after George Bush and the 9/11 conspiracies and all that. Oh, WikiLeaks is great. Oh, what would we do without WikiLeaks? But now they're going after Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders and other people, showing how Bernie Sanders was paid off to throw the campaign and everything else. Now WikiLeaks, they need to be brought to justice, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's real integrity there. Anyway, here's some of my proof of Hillary Clinton's racism, and it is disgusting.
Mexico is such an important problem. Mexican government's policies are pushing migration north. There isn't any sensible approach except to do what we need to do simultaneously, secure our borders with technology, personnel, physical barriers if necessary in some places, and we need to have tougher employer sanctions, and we need to try to incentivize Mexico to do more. If they've committed transgressions of whatever kind, they should be obviously deported.
Now, listen to this. A leaked email from Hillary Clinton slamming people on a race base. Now, listen to this for a second. Here's the direct quote. The main reason behind successful immigration should be painfully obvious. Some groups are almost always highly successful. Example, Jews, Hindus, Sikhs, and Chinese. While others, examples, Muslims, blacks, and Roma, as in gypsies, fare badly almost irrespective of circumstances. If a Republican had put down anything like that, they would be branded immediately. You are a racist.
Absolutely. Where's Jesse Jackson? Where's Al Sharpton? Where's the NAACP? Where's the Congressional Black Caucus? And by the way, from what I understand, that was an email sent from John Podesta, who is one of her top aides and one of her campaign spokespersons. It would have been deemed to be racist. One more comment, though, Stu, about the other topic. The Democratic icons are Jack Kennedy, Ted Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy, three men who are serial philanderers, and their reputation has not suffered one iota ever since revelations have been coming out about how they behaved. Jack Kennedy had hookers in the White House, and he's beloved by the Democrats. Bill Clinton is beloved by Democrats. But Donald Trump has made some locker room banter, and therefore he's not equipped to become president. Double standard and hypocrisy. You can cut it with a knife.
Look, you run a talk.
It's reliable. Documents, hard evidence, which is why WikiLeaks is so important. These are hacked emails, most of which you'll see today come from John Podesta, chairman for the 2016 Hillary campaign, and a former chief of staff to Mr. President Bill Clinton, and counselor to one Mr. President Barack Obama. Starting off with a bang, number one, Hillary Clinton wants open borders. In a transcript taken from a speech, Hillary Clinton said, "My dream is a hemispheric common market with open trade and open borders." So this is problematic, to use their term, only if you believe in countries. The term globalism is thrown around so flippantly today, it's lost all meaning. But the term globalism was invented for this. Number two, admission that the Iran deal was absolutely horrible, as we said it was. Written from John Anzalone, this agreement condemns the next generation to cleaning up a nuclear war in the Persian Gulf. This is the greatest appeasement since Chamberlain gave Czechoslovakia to Hitler. To which one Mr. John Podesta replied, "Yup." He didn't even fight it. The entire DNC in the public eye. No. The Iran deal isn't what you think. Behind closed doors, it's exactly what you think. It sucks.
Thanks, Satan.
Number three, for all you basement dwellers out there, the manipulation and or possible bribing of Bernie Sanders. Written to John Podesta. "We are going to need his voters to turn out in November for Hillary Rodham Clinton. He won't be nominated. I am doing the opposite, repeatedly writing friendly and positive pieces about Bernie as a Hillary supporter, and when the time is right, I will have money in the bank with him and his people as a liberal to urge them to come out in force to vote for Hillary Rodham Clinton." We get it. Bernie Sanders got a raw deal from the DNC, but he was above it all. Except he's got 3 houses to pay for. Dollar bills, y'all. Money. Number four, Democrats created fake sexist Trump ads. Are you smelling on the job? Must be open to public humiliation, a willingness to evaluate other women's hotness, proficient in lying about age if the boss thinks you're too old. Firstly, I don't have too many gripes with those, but we know that a lot of women would, and that's the point. Slander and impersonation coming directly from the...
Not just gangs of kids anymore. They are often the kinds of kids that are called super predators. No conscience, no empathy. We can talk about why they ended up that way, but first we have to bring them to heel.
It's absolutely important to be able to decipher what is true and what is not, and that's why I started veracitylife.com. I'm promoting the advancement and the research into more advanced lie detection software, algorithms, and technology. I mean, it's hard for the average person to sort out who's telling the truth and who's not. Most people won't go through history and learn all of the different positions that Hillary Clinton has had, or all the different positions that Donald Trump has had. I mean, they're all liars. They're professional liars. I mean, that's the, basic requirement of a professional politician, is to be a liar. So, I'll do some of the work for you. I suggest you go to wikileaks.org and figure out the rest for yourself and go through other historical documents and YouTube videos from 10, 20 years ago on these people. They're absolutely professional liars. You cannot trust them. And like I've said the whole time, and the WikiLeaks emails have proved it, is that the election is fixed. You heard John Podesta before the primaries were even over saying that Bernie Sanders wasn't going to be elected, or that he wasn't going to be nominated, and that they needed to include them in Clinton's campaign. And this was months before Bernie Sanders, before the primaries were over with. I mean, the elections are fixed. I've said that, for 3 years anyway. I've been posting videos on it. I posted about the presidential lineage and about the common ancestor they all have, a king of England from the 12th century named John Lackland. But I said since July of 2015 that it would be Hillary that wins this campaign. Why? Not because she's popular, not because she's going to get the vote, legitimately. It's because she's part of the lineage. She's part of the presidential lineage. Anyway, check us out at clovusstar.com. Also check us out at clovustribe.com. And if you wish to donate to our cause, we need to pay for hosting and promotions and, domain registration. You can donate at www.patreon.com/Clovis Tribe. Thanks for tuning in.